more than 2 decades now. What are the mistakes which one should avoid when they're doing global investing?
The first part was that don't think that the US is the world, because the people think that all world stock markets always move in sync with US, with the US being the leader. But there have been long periods when the US underperforms. One thing is certain about markets, that themes change, whether it is countries, asset classes, even investing styles. So US, for example, 2003 to 2000, about 7, 8, that was the period when US wasn't even coming off a high. It was already down after the tech crash. And still in those 4.5 years, it gave a return of only some 60-odd%. India went up 6 times. The emerging market index went up about 3.5, 4 times. Brazil went up 10 times. And see, in anything that happens in the market, the narratives follow. So at that time, it was though the US is over as a country. And of course, 2022, and now everybody has forgotten that in 2021 was the last time we had a global fund boom in India, when a lot of NASDAQ ETFs and funds of funds were launched. And 2022, NASDAQ was almost the worst performing index in the world. It was 40 out of 42 countries. And people came to me and said, I'm down 40%, should I exit? I said, don't compound a bad buy with a bad sell. Because a major index down 40% is almost never a sell. A stock down 80% can also be a sell. So that's the thing, that be in a truly globally diversified portfolio, which is all countries, all asset classes. The other thing is choose your fund manager carefully, because unfortunately, and I wrote about it and people said you're going to get lynched by your community for this. Too much of the asset management industry is an asset gathering industry. They are not offering you a product because they think that's the theme that will do well. Too often they're offering you a product because they think this is when I can get money from investors on this theme. And this is what is happening with a lot of Gift City product. Very unfortunate. I just collated the data, and most Gift City products have done very, very badly for the last 6 months and 1 year. Nobody is even close to the benchmarks, because global investing is extremely complex. I mean, to understand that, you can't do that with 2 analysts, and just because you can form a Gift City product doesn't mean you know how to manage global money. So be very careful on who you go with that. So those would be my 2 things, that don't think US is the world, and be very careful on how you do the global investing.